Good Monday afternoon, everybody. This is Stephen Ray, and I wanted to jump here on social media and let you guys know that once again we are doing a drive home forecast, even though a couple of you may not be at work today, because I know that there are some people that don't work today and others do. So I just wanted to go on ahead and do it like normal. So that is why we are doing a drive home forecast. And if you're not working, well, then you can enjoy watching it anyway. But once again, you can see across the northern and central portions of Alabama right now, there is pretty much nothing going on, but it is hot out there, as it's currently 93 degrees up there in Florence. It is 91 degrees in Huntsville. It is currently 89 degrees in the Birmingham metro area and downtown, and it is 89 degrees as well in the heart of Tuscaloosa. And as you can see, down around the Demopolis area, it is currently 91 degrees as well. But across the northern and central portions of Alabama, there is basically nothing going on the radar. As you can see up here towards the Florence, Huntsville, and Decatur area, all is dry for your drive home across the 72 corridor or across the 157 corridor that runs from Coleman all the way up to Florence and Tuscumbia. Also, if you are along the 565 corridor in between Decatur and Huntsville, there is absolutely nothing going on the radar that you see up there. These little spots right here, that is dry air. And this radar up here in Huntsville is literally in clear air mode right now. So there's nothing on the radar up there in the Tennessee Valley. Now, as we move a little bit further off to the south, down here towards the Birmingham metro area, and the Birmingham radar, now this radar is in precipitation mode. However, there are a couple of spotty showers in West Alabama. We currently have one up here over here that is north of the Jenna community over here in West Alabama. There's also one down here in between Moundville and Akron over here towards the Highway 60 corridor that runs from basically Akron all the way down to New Prospect in Hale County. Now, that is the only area of concern right now for your drive home in West Alabama. I will zoom in here to the Birmingham metro area and show you Birmingham, Homewood, and Vestavia Hills, and I'll put the radar into motion for you, and literally there is nothing going on in the city of Birmingham for your drive home. That you saw right there is ground clutter that the radar is picking up on some object, but it is not any kind of precipitation inside the Birmingham metro area. Now, as we move down into far South Alabama, south of the Montgomery area, you can see that there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms over here towards the 21 corridor. Towards the 21 corridor over here towards the Camden area, in between Camden and Montgomery, over here towards the Swaney and the Darlington, Alabama area, also the Furman area, and these are moving off to the west and they're creeping along. So if you're driving home across Highway 10 or Highway 21 down here in far South Alabama, in between Camden, Pine Hill, and eventually Thomasville, just know that your drive home is going to be rather wet because these storms are producing a lot of heavy rain. Also down here towards the Oak Hill area, down here in Monroe County in South Alabama, there's also a couple of showers and thunderstorms. In the southwest Alabama area, and as you can see right here, south of the Butler area over here towards the Millery, and the Waynesboro, Mississippi area north of Chatham. Now, earlier with this batch of storms that was over here in Waynesboro, when this was over here near the Millery and Chatham area, this prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark, Washington, and Choctaw counties, but those have been allowed to expire as those thunderstorms have moved on into the state of Mississippi. So once again, right there, that storm that was over the Millery area over Cross 17, that did prompt a severe thunderstorm warning earlier. However, that has been allowed to expire. But just note, if you are driving along the 17 corridor, going home in between Chatham and Millery, Alabama right now, just know that there has been a couple of thunderstorms around that area, and that it would definitely be some ponding of water on the roads. Also, if you are along the 84 corridor, going between Grove Hill and Coffeyville, and then eventually getting over here towards the Mississippi state line, just know that there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms that are moving west off of the 84 corridor between Grove Hill and the state line of Mississippi. And now let's go down here into the Mobile metro area, and there's a lot of showers and thunderstorms around the area. However, there's nothing going on in downtown Mobile right now. However, if you are driving up 45 heading home out of the Mobile area over towards the areas of Boothtown or Lambridge Grove, just note that there are a couple of showers. Also, if you're driving up 45 towards the Citronelle area, just note that there are a couple of thunderstorms and showers around that area as well. Also, if you're watching or driving up Highway 98 in between Mobile and the Mississippi state line, just note that there could be a couple of showers and thunderstorms on your drive home. And then over here in Baldwin County, there are a couple of storms back off to the northeast of Bay Minette, in between Bay Minette and Ardmore, Alabama. And those areas are going to be impacted by showers and thunderstorms, and especially if you're traveling towards the northeast, going from Mobile up to Montgomery. There are a couple of thunderstorms and showers as you get into the northern Baldwin County area towards the Atmore exit over there towards the northern I-65 corridor in northern Baldwin County. There are also some other showers and thunderstorms that are ongoing over here towards the 98 corridor, north of Magnolia Springs and west of Foley. So just note that it's going to be a wet drive home if you are traveling down the 59 corridor or along the 98 corridor in between Magnolia Springs and Foley, Alabama. And one last stop, if you are traveling down here along the 180 corridor out here going from Gulf Shores over to the Fort Morgan area, a Bon Secure National Wildlife Refuge, there is a one lone shower that is moving onshore over here towards the Little Lagoon area, also over here towards the Laguna Key area, and this is West Beach Boulevard down there in Gulf Shores. Other than that, all the rest of the area down there along the immediate coast is dry right now. So that is your basically your drive home forecast. And I did realize that I skipped the Montgomery metro area. Let's take a quick look and see what the Montgomery area looks like, and then we'll go into far southeast Alabama. The Montgomery metro area is pretty much dry right now for your drive home. So that's going to be really good for you guys traveling in either towards the Autaugaville area, or if you're traveling north towards the Wetumpka area. Just note that there is going to be a dry drive home for you guys in the Montgomery metro area now, as we move a little bit further off to the south, in between the Montgomery and Fort Deposit area. Just note that there are a couple of showers that are moving along the I-65 corridor north of Fort Deposit and south of Montgomery as you travel home. There's also a couple of storms that are going up right now along the 231 corridor south of Montgomery as you move down towards the Troy area, in between Troy and Montgomery, and those could produce a lot of heavy rain around the Macedonia, Alabama area, also the Curry's, Alabama area. And one last stop, guys. Let's go down here into far southeast Alabama, down here towards the Enterprise, Dothan, and Andalusia area. And not much is going on in the Dothan, Daleville, Enterprise area, also down here towards the Ozark area as well. So it looks like your drive home is going to be rather dry for the drive home around the Dothan metro area. So guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your Monday evening. I do want to also note that I know that you guys probably don't care about what's going on down in Florida. However, we are still watching the progression of Tropical Storm Elise, and now it looks like that it's going to be a little bit further off to the north of where we thought it was going to make landfall last week. Cape Coral and the Sarasota area was going to be the area of concern. Now it looks like it is going to be a little bit further off to the north over here towards the Horseshoe Beach area. Also, the Big Bend Wildlife area is where this thing is going to come ashore, and there are some models that still say that it could make a landfall near the Panama City area or the Destin area. So this storm is just now crossing over Cuba. It is still a tropical storm, and it's going to be real interesting to see where exactly Elisa heads as we move into the early morning hours in the morning. Once it gets back over the Gulf of Mexico, then we can kind of really fine tune where this system is going to go. But as of right now, at 4 o'clock, Elisa was at 50 mile per hour winds with gusts upwards of 65, and the movement is towards the northwest right now, and the minimum central pressure currently is 1,008 millibars. So it is located right over the center of Cuba right now, near the city of Guineas down there in Cuba, and then it will eventually scoot off the northern coast of Cuba and get back into the Gulf and move towards a point west of Key West, and then eventually move over here towards the western Florida panhandle, and then eventually make landfall up here right now towards the Horseshoe Beach area, and then it will basically turn across South Georgia, and then getting here towards South Carolina, North Carolina, and then eventually cross back into the Atlantic over here towards the Virginia Beach area, and then head away from the United States of America. So guys, we will continue to watch the progression of Elisa, and if it does happen to make landfall closer to Panama City, we could have some impacts across the far southeastern portions of Alabama, but for right now, it looks like the majority of the rain and storms is going to be centered over here towards the Georgia area. But we will continue to fine tune the forecast for you guys and have a better handle by the time we get into tomorrow on where Tropical Storm Elisa is going to be. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. And as always, God bless. We will be right back here on social media. doing another drive home forecast this time tomorrow. Have a safe day, and as always, God bless. All right, guys, it is coming up on 418, and I wanted to jump here on social media for my friends over here in Mississippi and let you guys know for another drive home forecast. And if you guys are down there in the far southern portions of Mississippi, down here towards the Pine Belt area, you're going to impact a lot of rain towards your drive home within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Now, if you are in the northern portions of Mississippi, basically from the Corinth, Mississippi area, the Tupelo, Mississippi area, the Oxford, Starkville, Eupora, or Columbus areas, you guys have absolutely nothing to worry about. I've actually got the radar turned on up here for northern Mississippi and central Mississippi, and absolutely nothing is going on right now. So if you're traveling home along the I-22 corridor towards Tupelo to New Albany going up to Memphis, your drive home is going to be dry. If you're traveling along the Clarksdale to Oxford to Pontotoc area, your drive home is going to be dry. If you are traveling down the I-55 corridor from Memphis all the way down to Grenada or Winona, your drive home is going to be dry but hot. And if you're traveling along the Highway 82 corridor from Greenville all the way over to Greenwood, Winona, Starkville, or Columbus, your drive home is going to be dry but hot, as Columbus is checking in right now at 91, Starkville is at 90, Greenwood 91, and Greenville is at 90 degrees right now. Now, as we move a little bit further off to the south towards the Jackson, Mississippi area, if you are traveling along the I-55 corridor from Canton, Mississippi, all the way down to Ridgeland and Jackson, or if you're traveling along the 20 corridor between Jackson and Brandon going east, or if you're going west towards the Vicksburg area, absolutely nothing is going on. There are a couple of rogue showers south of Jackson, going south on 55 down here towards the Terry and Crystal Springs area. But as far as the Jackson, Mississippi metro, everything is pretty much dry for your area. Now, as we move down here into the Pine Belt area of Mississippi, down here towards the McGee, the Taylorsville, the Collins, Ellisville, and Laurel areas, also over here towards the Brookhaven and the Monticello area along the 84 corridor, you guys are going to have a couple of thunderstorms and showers to deal with. And as you can see, I have the lightning turned on for you guys, and there's a couple of lightning strikes west of Ellisville and north of the city of Collins right now. So just note, if you are traveling basically on 84 between Monticello, Collins, and Laurel, just note for your drive home, it is going to be a wet drive with ponding of water on the roads and basically some lower visibilities. And by the time we do head home here within the next 15 to 30 minutes, this line of thunderstorms should be up here towards the Mendenhall, McGee, Mize, Taylorville, and Mount Olive, Mississippi areas. Also over here towards the Sandersville, Laurel, and the Heidelberg area, coming up here towards the 59 corridor, also down here towards the Enterprise and the Stonewall, Mississippi area. If you're traveling along the 11 corridor that runs from Laurel all the way up to the Enterprise, Mississippi area, there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with over there. And if you're traveling along the 45 corridor between Shibuya and the Waynesboro, Mississippi area, also along the 84 corridor from Waynesboro over to Laurel, just know that there are going to be a couple of slick spots and heavy showers and thunderstorms on your drive home. Now let's move to the 98 corridor down here into Hattiesburg, going west or going east. It looks like everything right now is north of your area. If you are traveling along 98, you may encounter a couple of thunderstorms and showers over here towards the Tylertown area and the Macomb area. But over here towards Columbia and Hattiesburg, everything looks pretty much dry for your drive home. Now, if you were over here towards the Natchez, Mississippi area, everything is pretty much dry from Natchez points off to the east over here towards the Roxy and Bude area. However, if you're traveling down here in the city of Natchez, there is one small shower that has popped up right over downtown Natchez over here towards the Stanton Hall area. Also, just off to the west of Devereaux Drive along the 930 corridor. Also, if you are traveling along the Mississippi River over here to Vidalia along 84, just note that there is one lone shower over downtown Natchez right now that could impact your drive home, and especially if you're traveling northwest towards the Faraday and Ridgecrest areas in over here west of Natchez, Mississippi. And one more final stop for you guys down here along the 98 corridor and, of course, the I-10 corridor along the coast of Mississippi. And pretty much nothing is going on. Now, there is a one shower and thunderstorm that has just popped up over the Picayune, Mississippi area over here towards the I-59 corridor, also down here along the 40 corridor and 43 corridor near Flat Top and Picayune, Mississippi. So that is the only shower of concern right now down here in the far southern coastal areas of Mississippi. If you're traveling near Waveland, Bay St. Louis, past Christian, Long Beach, Gulfport, or Biloxi, over here to Ocean Springs and the Pascagoula, Mississippi area, all is dry, all is warm, all is really pleasant right now if you're traveling along the I-90 corridor or the I-10 corridor down here into southern Mississippi. But I did want to also bring your attention to what's going to happen over here towards the Florida area, because right now we still are watching the progression of Tropical Storm Elisa right now. And as of 4 o'clock, Elisa was centered right over the center part of Cuba across the northern coastal areas, and it is about to move back over the coastal waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And as you can see, winds are 50 miles per hour, with maximum wind gusts upwards of 65. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because earlier last week we were thinking that it was going to move over here towards the Cape Coral and the Sarasota, Florida area and cut across Florida. Now it looks like the storm will come across near the Horseshoe Beach area, and some of the models still have it coming in near the Panama City Beach area as it continues to move on off to the northwest. And I know a lot of people do like to vacation up here in the Panama City Beach area. So if you have interest or a house or any of your loved ones that have a place up here in Panama City or the Santa Rosa Beach area over here towards the Apalachicola area as well, just know that there is still a possibility that this storm, Elisa, could potentially make landfall over there towards the Panama City Beach area, as some of the models are continuing to pull the storm a little bit further off to the north and to the west. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. And I do note that the National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now for the Waynesboro, Mississippi area for the next 47 minutes for the potential of winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and 1-inch hail in diameter. And this storm is moving away from Waynesboro, but Waynesboro, you guys are still in the warning for right now. And this storm is moving over here towards the Pleasant Grove, Mississippi area, also the Whistler, Mississippi area. The storm is basically paralleling the 84 corridor out of Waynesboro going towards the city of Laurel, Mississippi. So if you're watching right now in Laurel, heading home or about to head home going east towards the Waynesboro, Mississippi area, just note that there is a severe thunderstorm warning with the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds and very large hail up to 1 inch in diameter right now. So you may want to just take it safe and wait until this severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire, which it will expire at 5:15. This storm is moving towards the northwest at 25 miles per hour, and quarter-sized hail and damaging straight-line winds are impacted with this storm. Waynesboro and Clara, Mississippi are the places that are impacted by the storm. Now, I do not think that we're going to have a tornado issue with this. I think it's just basically going to be a straight line wind event, and that's basically for the areas west of Waynesboro, but especially if you were in between Pleasant Grove and Waynesboro, Mississippi. And that is the only severe thunderstorm warning we have in the state of Mississippi right now. And that, once again, that is for the Waynesboro, Mississippi area for that line of storms that is in between Laurel and Waynesboro, Mississippi right now. And I'll turn on the Mobile radar and give you kind of a better perspective of it. And there is your hail core that you see right there, your pink and your light blue shade area right there, just north of the city of Waynesboro right now. And this is moving over towards the Whistler, Mississippi area. So if you're on Old Highway 84 road, there's probably some large hail falling right now. Also, if you were along the Reservoir Road down here in northwestern Wayne County in southeastern Mississippi. And this warning goes for another 44 minutes until 5:15. That does include the Waynesboro, Mississippi area, also the Pleasant Grove and the Whistler, Mississippi area, and the Pine Belt area of Mississippi. So guys, I will continue to watch the progression of these storms. Now, if you are down here in the Pine Belt area, once again, if you're watching in Taylorsville, McGee, Bay Springs, or in the Collins, Mississippi area, north of the city of Hattiesburg, just know that there's going to be a lot of heavy rain if you're traveling in between Hattiesburg and McGehee and Jackson along the 49 corridor within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I will be right back here watching all of this for you, and we'll be doing another update for you guys tomorrow afternoon for your Tuesday drive home. Have a great rest of your evening, and as always, God bless.